Thank you. Can I get an agenda?
Blake has them
Like, I think he's on his way. I tried to call him.
Okay, I'm calling the meeting to order
at 2.
at
5.
05.
6.
2:06. And I'm calling to recess until I say so,
Quorum is established.
until quorum is established.
What he said. All right, so not enough time.
I call the meeting to order at 2:14. And can we please stand up for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So on to the introduction of attendees. Starting from my right.
I'm Roland Bow, the Director of Communications for the ASU.
Chuck Stevens, Director of Legislative Affairs.
Cody Mowbray, Senator at Large.
Roy Jackson, Senator at Large.
Media Club.
Your club.
Media Club. Of course.
Media page.
Marie with aesthetics. Ella Langcliffe, Visitor Sustainable.
Elijah Brady, Senator at Large. Mick Taylor, Veterans Association.
Alva Long, Senator at Large.
Oh, Andy Nguyen, Activity Director.
John Calamatheos, Finance.
Sackness.
Jeff from Sackness.
Blake Balaji, Advisor.
Chris.
Introduction.
Chris Woods, Student Senator at Large.
Liz Munoz, Chief Justice.
And I'm Abby O'Shea-Brigade, the Vice President. On to the adoption of the agenda for March 7, 2014. Yes.
I'd like to move to postpone items 5.1, 5.2.
5.1 and 5.2, she's going to be here today.
Is she?
Yes.
Okay, good. And then 5.4?
All right. We were told that was canceled this morning at CPC.
Oh,
It's
okay,
been
good.
canceled.
So
We
move
may,
to
if
postpone
she's not here.
indefinitely then on
Okay.
5.4?
A
No
motion.
side chatter.
There's a motion on the floor.
What?
Oh, excuse me, Madam Vice Chair, 5.5 as well.
I second.
Okay. So it's been,
Point of information.
yeah.
Will Dr. Burns be here to speak at all on this, or is Blake going to speak on it? I just want to make sure,
Yes.
since the other one got stopped, they will be here to speak.
Yes.
Yeah, the only update is the same things that we said last meeting, and Kendra's been postponed for next year, till next year. So, yeah, perfectly fine. Moving those on.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded to postpone indefinitely 5.4 and 5.5. Okay, motion passes. Any other? Yes, Jeff.
I moved to postpone until next week, 5.6.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there an objection?
Are you asking?
Yeah.
Are you objecting?
Yes.
Okay. Objection. Why?
I'd like to know why it's being deferred.
That's actually his item.
Yeah,
So he's moving to postpone it to when he's ready.
I would actually like to know why and why and if, what kind of support do you need from us?
Yes.
May I speak, Madam Chair?
Yes. Go ahead.
Thank you. We're still, the planning is almost done on this, and I had midterms this week, so I wasn't able to get the budget fully completed in time for today. But I'll have it ready for next week.
Oh, good.
Thank you. Yes.
Not in a place to make one, but if anyone wants to, so move it. Our special guests are here at 5.10. Sam Hope, if we can move that one up to.
Can you silence your cell phones, please?
Sooner. If we can move that up to sooner.
I'm gonna do the agenda first.
The agenda hasn't been adopted, so when the agenda is adopted,
shoot,
we
I
could
thought we were on
move
the
to have
step
that. No. So I'm still waiting for a motion to adopt the agenda. Yes.
I move that we adopt the agenda as amended.
Second.
Oh, you need to make an amendment?
Objection?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you retract your?
I move
I retract my motion.
What's your motion?
to, okay, my motion is, I move to cancel the 4.1 Murray class because we already admitted to the Roman history last week.
Mm.
Okay, can I get a motion then? Okay, Jeff?
I move to pull 6.1 from the consent calendar. I'd like to hear details on this before something like that gets approved on a consent calendar.
Can I get a second, please?
One second.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to pull. Objection?
No,
It's been moved and seconded to move 6.1 out of the consent calendar. Any objections? Motion passes by unanimous consent. All right. Yes.
so I also need to just add an informational item to the agenda, if I may. It's regarding the elections, or would you like me just to do it during my report? I can do either or.
Okay, yeah, you could just do it during your report.
Okay.
Yeah. And adopt the agenda? Okay, yes.
Move to adopt the
Mr. Jim.
agenda as amended.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to adopt the agenda for March 7th, 2014. Any objections? Okay, motion passes by unanimous consent. Approval of minutes. Yes.
Sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead and do that.
Approval of minutes. The minutes for February 7th, 2014, February 21st, and February 28th, 2014.
Everybody's gonna log in. We're gonna pull them up, or?
Okay, so while he tries to,
I believe the only ones we have are from 3 weeks ago. So the ones with the one that I
The
sent
rest two
John,
are not
those
ready.
Those are the only ones that we have. The other two, nobody's been appointed to listen to recordings and
okay.
jot them down.
Well, while you work on that, let's just move on to the public comments. So while you try to pull it up.
Okay, so I'm not sure what John did. Is the document I had the most, or did you type it out or anything?
Mm.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that
we just sent it
document,
like
that
that,
spreadsheet
yeah.
I had.
Mhm.
Yeah, good. Pull it up.
I don't have a login. I don't think, so.
Okay, so public comments. This is the portion of the meeting reserved for persons desiring to address the Associated Student Council on any matter of concern that is not stated in the agenda. There shall be a time limit of 3 minutes per person and 10 minutes per item. The law does not permit any action to be taken nor extended discussion of any item not on the agenda, except under special circumstances as deemed by the chair. The council may briefly respond to statements or questions posed, but for further information, please contact one of the officers during the posted office hours. Any public comments? All right, on a roll. Did you have a comment?
No, I actually was gonna address the order of the day and
Okay.
move to 5.10, update on website revamp.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to suspend the order of the day and go on to 5.10, update on website revamp. Any objections?
You just stepped out.
Motion passes. But he's not here.
Well, he was just here just a second ago.
So then I'll object.
That's okay.
to continue.
There you go.
I object,
With
Jim.
You just
You object? Okay. All right.
Well, just,
Because he needs it. He needs this also. So he wants
Oh,
to get somebody,
okay.
we're going to get somebody to
I would my motion.
log in.
All right.
Right here.
Oh, he's right here. Okay.
Okay. I think he needs the overhead though.
I believe it's still gonna take some time.
Just do the SJCC STU. I know the password.
Come on, go, Joe.
Not very creative.
You just need
I know
anybody.
it's the simplest college one.
All right, we're gonna move on to item 4.2 while we wait for them to set up.
For the Hub of Excellence, I give out for everyone the budget. Okay, look at the budget. We will have the lasagna with drink and cookies, chicken quarantine at the Hub of Excellence dinner on May 8th. It's Thursday, not Tuesday, okay? At 5 p.m. In the cafeteria. And any question for this one? For the food, for any?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
Let's see, so, yeah, what's the agenda of the event? What's the timeline? What's gonna occur?
I'm not idea. It's May 8th on Thursday.
Okay.
It will be in the cafeteria at 5 p.m.
Okay, and how, another question. How, is it possible that you could put up like SJCC banners or something? Is there
Yes,
some way?
we're going
Okay.
to make the banner for that.
Okay,
Yes.
great.
Cody, you had your hand up?
Yes. Because it starts at 5. When is it over? And what's going to be happening during that time frame?
Okay. We start at 5
Mhm.
for the introduction, and we will make a speech at 5:15. And 5:20, we're going to award for everyone, for the winner.
Okay.
And at 6, when we end the awarding, we will have the dinner
Okay.
for everyone. And until they're gone. Okay?
Okay.
Albert, you had your hand up?
Yeah, quick question. Is this strictly for the recipients of the awards, or are parents, brothers, sisters allowed to be invited? Because I noticed that there's only about 125 dinners, so I would assume no. And
Okay.
it's just for the people who are the award recipients.
Okay, for the winner, they can bring their families with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or their friends.
And they'll be able to eat as well.
Wait to be addressed.
Yes.
Roland, you had your hand up?
I was just gonna say that most of the times whenever there's a dinner, usually have the dinner and then you have the awards presentation, like everywhere I've ever done it. So I didn't know if that was a firm thing. You know, usually like you get together, you have the banquet, you know, and then you have a presentation.
Yeah.
We have, every time I've been to the Hall of Excellence, we do it that way.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Yes.
That's fine.
Yeah, I backed them up that I'd suggest that we do the dinner earlier. So that way those that do have night classes on that Thursday, at least they can eat real quick and then go, the ones that are being recognized.
Mr.
So to me, it's like, if they have classes, I think they might want their award before they get food. Because if that's what it's for, then they're gonna eat and not get their award.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I just got a question.
All right. It's just an info item, so, oh, actually, it is an action item.
It's an action.
So,
Okay, I move to approve Exist 1,500 for the Hall of Excellence dinner.
Second.
okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve item 4.2, Bill SP 14-014, Hall of Excellence, and we have to do a roll call vote. Show of hands?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
The way we're doing it, SSCC, is you point to the person, they say their name, that counts the vote. You can go all the way around.
Okay.
Mullenbaugh, yay.
Chuck Stevens, yay?
John Calamateos, yay.
Freddie Mowbray, yay.
Roy Jackson, yay?
Chris Woods, yay.
Jeff, yay.
Marie, Elizabeth, yay.
Milad, yeah.
Nick, yay. Alva, yay.
Eddie Newman, yay.
Larry Harris, yay.
Thank you. Unanimous consent. On to,
I'm not able to,
oh,
Okay.
it just wouldn't allow me to get there, because maybe this one doesn't have VPN. So that's probably the main reason why. So if you can bear with me when my item is up.
No problem.
all right, we're going to move to, so 5.1, Dee Dee's not here yet. 5.2, 5. All right, Andy.
Okay, Didi will be here at 3:10.
Okay. Yes, Mr.
Move
Dunn.
the table 5.1 and 5.2 till she shows.
You can't table.
You can't table.
You can only postpone till a certain time.
Wait, brother, it's your turning. If someone comes in, we gotta stop.
That's violating
Postpone.
Robert rules.
Till
Yeah.
she shows.
Okay, it's been moved. There's no seconded. Is that your motion?
I second.
Okay, so it's been moved and seconded to postpone item 5.1 and 5.2 till Dee Dee gets here.
I second that.
Any objections? Okay, motion passes.
I have a motion.
Yes.
I move that we suspend the order of the day and move to officer appointments and decide about a secretary, since all the other things are kind of.
Is there a second?
Object. I'd like to object because in my opinion, I think that we can make more informed decisions as a body if we were to have our officer reports and our club reports to occur before we make, decisions that, could affect all of us.
That used to be the case before, but we never got to the items that really needed to be approved. So that's why we moved them to the end of the meeting. So that way we take care of business, then we talk about what we've all been up to.
Okay,
You're
so can
saying-
I make a motion that,
Well, I have the motion already.
Yeah, there's a motion on the
We
floor.
can discuss it.
Yeah.
All right.
okay.
And is there a second for Roland's motion to move to officer appointments to appoint a secretary?
Second.
Second?
Second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded to move to 7.2, Associated Student Council Officer Appointments. Any objections?
Actually, because he has an objection, so I prefer to move to the previous question for the motion.
We just approved his objection was with a motion to move to something else, so we had to settle the first motion before we moved to that one.
So I move the previous question for that motion. Is it possible?
What motion? It's already, it passed.
Oh, okay.
His
Sorry.
motion
Sorry.
passed.
Clear.
Okay, so can we have the two people that are me? Can we have the two people that are applying for this position, the secretary? Probably come over there
Come over there and.
or up here so you could see everyone.
Yeah, right in front of those chairs, please.
Yeah, in front of the chairs. And I would like to open this up for any questions. For questions to each. But before that, they both would have 2 minutes to just tell us about themselves and why they think they should get this position. So we would start. Should you just pick one?
No, he's giving her the floor.
Okay, all right, go first. Thanks.
Hi everyone, my name is Nivu. My major
No side chatter,
is
please.
business. Oh, sorry, I feel a little stressed.
It's okay.
I have desire to join ASCs and GCCs because I want to have a feeling and I want to make friends with everyone and I hope to develop ASC, SGCC. Yeah, thank you.
The reason why I want to become the secretary, I know everybody that's at the table, that's an ASG representative. I just like to put my support out there in case people need help with stuff on campus or in the office. I can always help them out by stapling papers or filing or helping somebody out that's sick or whatever to help out to do it for them. My second reason is that if a person needs help picking up boards or whatever, I don't know what it's called. You guys have it in your office. I don't know what it's called. You open it like a two-way whiteboard. I don't know what it's called, but if you guys need help picking that up off campus, I'm available to help you guys pick it up off the board, off the campus too. That's pretty much what I like to do to help you guys out.
Thank you. Mick, you had a question?
Yes, if only one of you is going to get the job, right? So is the alternate, is the person that doesn't get the job available to perhaps fill another role?
Can I answer it or no?
Go ahead.
It depends on if she gets it or if I don't get it. It depends on who applies for the position right now, because there's two people that are trying to apply for it, but whoever gets it, she's going to be the one that's going to get it, or I will be able to get it, but it just depends on who does the secretary paperwork that we have to fill out to do it. That's basically how it goes.
Have you filled out the form?
No, I haven't yet, but...
Okay, so if they come up here to apply, I don't know what Chuck is, but I thought he turned in his form to Chuck. The only time he can actually present and apply for a position is when he has filled out the form. Chuck, did he fill out the form and turn it in?
He did fill out a form. I just don't know where it is because I haven't seen it. So I know he filled something out.
He just said he didn't.
He didn't? Oh.
He has.
I thought you did.
I remember I talked to Blake and Alex Ward about
yes.
the position, but
Okay, so you discussed it with them. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I
okay,
discussed it with
yeah. Then I don't know after that what happened.
Okay, so then you have filled out a form.
I didn't know.
Okay, let's continue.
Sorry.
I saw your hand up, John.
No.
Okay, and then Andy.
Point of information,
Yes.
please. Blake, can you confirm whether or not Marcus actually filled a form out?
That's the part that I wanted to.
Yes.
I was trying to have a discussion with Marcus and everybody, but then Adiza, the one that you turned in, that was for the interview that you did for Andy's committee, right?
Okay. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, the paper that I did for his committee, but I just wanted to know if you guys would give me one too for your thing.
Oh, because I remember giving you a form
He's also filled
for
out forms
a position.
that have been turned in to Alex.
Do you have it?
I don't have it. I think it's in Alex's office, so I don't think that it's gone further than that.
Yes, it's in Alex's office.
You've seen it, right? Yeah.
Okay. Well, if something's in.
Okay. Yes,
Okay.
Andy.
About the secretary duties, what Marcus said is not right because he said that he will help us for the sandwich issue only. That's not the secretary job to do.
He said that he'd help out with the paperwork that we need, but he'd also
This is a question for them, not for
All right.
the.
What I said from the get-go was that if people needed help on campus.
Hold on. This is question time, guys. You ask a question, he answers to your question, and you guys could talk later. And did you still have a question? Okay, I saw your hand up.
It's, both of you have good reasons for wanting this position, but what skills do you bring to the table that will enable you to do the position?
Answer him real quick.
Let me go first.
Yes, I have experience with secretary when I in high school, and actually my major is business, and I feel that I can do a good job with this position as secretary. Yeah.
And Marcus?
Basically, on my end, what I would like to do, I would like to know a lot more about people that are coming new from, that had not been to this college, to help them out with doing tours around the campus to explain more about the school to them.
Time is up. Finish your thought, sorry.
Oh, that's basically what I was saying, is that if I did the tour with the student that does not go to San Jose City College, that's going to be joining us, at the college, but I would like to do tours around the campus to explain what the school is mainly about, so they have more information about our school, be like events or anything that we do.
Okay.
Might be interested in. That's it.
Thank you. I would just like to clarify what a secretary does, because it doesn't seem like you guys really know what the secretary does. The secretary takes the minutes, the secretary makes the minutes, and you could look to the bylaws. Your job is not to help out, not just to help out during fundraisers or to lead tours around campus or to be friendly with people on campus. That is not the main point of the secretary. You take the notes, you get the notes out on time. Like if we want to get our business cards to reprographics, you help us fill out the forms, make sure everything is properly spelled out. So there's more to the job than just being friendly or guiding, leading tours. Chris, you had a question?
Yes, I think you did a great job of explaining that. I think it definitely, you guys should read the description, as well as are either one of you in English 1A yet?
No.
My question.
No.
And so, as she just said, with that type of thing, I think you need to be fairly confident with the sentence structure and grammar, because as we can see here, we're talking about sometimes thousands of dollars. And as some of us know, then dealing with the business department, that can be a headache. So if we already have somebody who necessarily is not, meeting the basics, could be a problem, I think, for this council.
Larry, you had a question?
I was curious to hear what the English classes we've completed have been from each candidate.
Yeah.
I know
It's sorry, hold on. I don't think that's really relevant. Yeah, that's kind of too personal.
So point of order.
Yes, Mr. Stevens.
So do both of you feel confident that you'd be able to have proper grammar, take minutes appropriately, and get the minutes sent out on time?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes, I agree with NU checks, but you guys know I'm still take ESL 91, but I'm complete history 70A, history 70B, and LG, and some of G class. So I'm confident that I will complete it good, even I'm still in ESL 91.
Confident.
I am confident to understand the bylaws what I'm saying is that I understand the bylaws when I look at them on paper, but when I do them on the computer, I might need help to separate the words from the bylaws. That's basically what I'm saying.
Okay.
You understand what I mean by that?
It doesn't matter if I understand, if they understand. But we have to postpone this until after 5.10 goes. So we would revisit this, so you guys should just chill around. Thank you.
Need a motion for that?
All right. Yes, you have the floor.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon. First of all, I want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you, Abby and the executive team, for allowing me the opportunity to be here today, again, to share with you about the update on the work that we are doing for the website revamp for the district. And last time we met, we had Kiefer team with us. We were thinking still that it was on Wednesday. So they could not come to the Friday, so they apologize for not being here. And for some reason, there's need to be a VPN or something, and I can go to the other website, but we cannot go to that particular site to show you. So I apologize for that. However, I really am in a rush, and I apologize for that because I have a 3 o'clock training for the website content owners, and I have somebody cover that for me, but I just like to be there on time if possible. So I'm gonna help you and keep it pretty short. That's okay.
Thank you.
And I think that's a welcome news at this time, I guess, right? So, first of all, I want to thank you very much for trying to set up the computer and the internet and all that. It's working, just not the site. So it's not our fault. As you know, the last time we talked about how the intention is to create a website for the district, 4 sites, which is the Evergreen Valley College, City College, District, and the Workforce Institute, those 4 sites to have a common look and theme, so that when people go to those 4 sites, they have a feeling that, yeah, we are in the same district. Right now we have 4 different platforms on the 4 sites, and it just doesn't look like we are even related. And some people may say that then we may not even like each other. So the intention is just to build that theme, look, and feel, and that's consistent with the strategic communications plan that the district paid a consultant to put together a thick document that is right now on the current website, and that plan is saying that 85% of our communication to our target audiences, and 2 of those 13 target audiences are our current students and our future students. Our current employees and our future employees, right? And the Board of Trustees, those are 5 already, and then we have donors, taxpayers, and community organizations, educational institutions out there, the funders and the regulators, the media, all those are the 13 audiences that we communicate through, and 85% of our communication really is through the website. We make or break through what we communicate by the website. And therefore it's critical that the quality of that is really important, and the way that is presented. And that's what we have been working on since October 10th, the kick-off date, until now, and it's been about 4 months already. So the process has been done with the collaboration from the students, and I want to thank many of you for participating in the survey that was sent out in the week of January the 6th or 7th. And to congratulate the students is that we have a total of 818 responses to that survey to say, okay, do you like X, Y, or Z design? How many of you remember seeing that? Some of you do, right? X, Y, or Z design. And that's all from the input from the last time we met here also, and some of you recommend that let's combine the contemporary and the modern a little bit, and merge them a little bit. So we have that as the Y design. And then the X design is like it was the modern, and then the middle one is the Y design, that is the contemporary. So at the end of, out of all that, we pick a little bit here, pick a little there, and get to the one that was selected. And of the 818 people responded to that survey, you need to recognize that the students are the best group there because they have 81% response rate in that 818 people. 650 of them are students, respondents. And we have about 6% faculty response, 7% of classified staff, management 3%, and the community, including the board, 3%. Of all of those people responded, the unanimous, or I would say that across the board, everyone basically selected Y as the design. The students chose that by 44%, they chose X by 37%, so it's very competitive. But because the number is large, 650 of them, 44 come out very, very solid compared to 37. Now you have the faculty selected Y as 70%. And 70% of the classified staff selected Y, and 80+% of the management selected Y, and 80+% of the community selected Y. So from all the groups, Y was the choice. And then we have the locations, City College, Evergreen Valley College, Workforce Institute, or the district, people that associate themselves with location. All of those locations, the EVC selected by 49% for Y. City College, 46% for Y. district office people selected Y as about 87%, and the Workforce Institute selected by about 87%. So the consistency of the Y is there. And so I'm sorry I cannot show you here, but you will remember that visually if you can. But by next Friday, March 14th is the go live date. So all the work that we've done from all of you that participated into the survey and the meetings that we had, and I remember you recommending something, we took that into account. So when the group meet together and work together, we say, okay, here's what we need to bring into that Y design to make it better. So there are some good features of the 3 we merge into the Y design, and that's the final product, and we will have it live next Friday. So that's all I want to update with you. And just want to say on behalf of the work teams, the team leads at City College, you have the team lead named Sahir, EBC is Shashi, DO is me, and the WI is Suzanne. Happen to be all of us got the S in front of our names. So we've been working with the group, and each of the site has about 8 members, 2 students, 2 faculty, 2 management, and 2 administration. 8 people from October 10 to now have been in communication to discuss and put everything together, from the information architecture at the beginning to the site maps to the taxonomy, which is the language we use, the term we use for the site. And then we do the wireframing, identify the different links, and we also went through the design, which you evaluated and you did participate in the survey. And now we are in the content migration phase. And that's what I'm doing the training for, so that we have right now over 100 people throughout the 4 sites are content owners. So let's say with students, we have a page on there. We believe that that page should be controlled by the students as long as they live within the standard that we set together so that we have consistency. But we don't believe no longer the day that you have 100 people, 100 pages out here, and you have to send it to 1 or 2 persons and say that, can you please post this for us? And they may never get to that email, they never had a time to respond to that, and by the time they post it up, it's obsolete. So the idea here, and in the strategic communication plan, if you go to that document, it says there are 5 focus that we stay on as standard for what we want to achieve in communication. And this applies to our own life too. Number 1 is, does our communication communicate reputation? Does our communication communicate trust? Do we provide information timely? Do we engage the community, the stakeholders? And do we advance community relations? So that's applicable to all of us when it comes to communication. 5 things: reputation, trust, engage stakeholders, community relations advancement, and finally, timely information. And with this new design here, the content setup this way by SharePoint 2013, it allows every content owner of every department to be able to work with the manager and post information up there, whether it's a text or an image or a video segment or in different links to different documents. They can do that within 10-15 minutes, and it's up to the public if they're ready to go without having to wait for somebody to respond and post that. And the one thing that I'm committed to that is because I have about 3 outstanding requests that I sent in a year ago. Today it has not been posted, and there was no follow-up that, I'm sorry, you cannot post, or you have to correct this or correct that. Not even a follow-up, and that day is gone. So that I want to draw a conclusion here by saying that, I came to this meeting, went straight to SC 204, and then find out that, thank you for putting the note that is T1415. I ran over here, and I just think to myself, I say that we are such creature of habits. I got a lot of meetings to go to. I keep just automatically over to SC 204. Same thing as the website. People are so used to say, okay, why bother the 10 minutes, just email this to that person, tell them what to do, and then if they find something wrong, they email me and they tell me what's corrected, and then I send it back and tell them, you need to correct this and correct that. That's the habit that we have up until now with the current site. We want to change that habit. We want to let you know that it's in T415, and that's where you have to go. Don't ever go back to SC204 for this meeting because it's been changed, right? So that's the same concept of the new website. Is the content owners are responsible for their page and post information up timely. So we hope that we can have your support and advice as we move along when we go launch next Friday. It probably will not be perfect, but we'll do the very best we can to fix that as soon as you can. You have a situation you are not happy about the page, recommendations, please let your representatives know so that they can communicate with us, and we will work 24 hours a day if we have to make it right. And that's our image that represents us. We want to be proud of that. And we are here because of the students. We want to make sure every one of our students feel that this is a place we are proud to be a part of, and every employee to feel that this is the place we're also proud to work at, and the community say that every dollar that is my tax dollar is going to the right place. So thank you all for that, and thank you for your time.
Yes, Ron.
Mr. Ho, I was curious, I've only had the job for 2 weeks, so perhaps Alan was plugged into the situation. I know whenever we discussed it, there would be some section for the ASG. I'm curious why the Director of Communications, or if the Director of Communications is planned on being included in the training, because he will be one of the content owners for this body.
So that content owner list is still being developed.
Okay.
So that means if your name is not on there yet,
okay.
The contact person is Sahir Awan over here. She's the team lead. She goes to there. I just pull out the 100 names that the consultant firm gave it to me, because these 4 sites provided to them. They give me the thing. I just created the spreadsheet, and then I add to that accordingly.
Okay.
But that's part of the out development.
I'm sure we're going to have a section somewhere where we're publishing our documents and things.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll include that person name onto the invitation list, and I'll make sure I do that.
Okay.
Thank you so much for that.
No problem.
Thank you. Any other questions? Yes, Mr. Stevens?
Sam, thank you so much I just want to commend you on the work that you guys have done. So as of right now, like our website right now, say that we wanted to maybe put our bylaws up, is it still the same process? Or now that we're addressing the communication issue, are we able to now, is it a little bit faster to put things up on our current website right now, or is it still the same?
The current website is going to be out of date by next Friday.
Oh, okay.
So we're not going to try to address whatever situation we go through right now. But one thing I know is that when we have the new website go up, and if you're a content owner and you're ready to post that message up, then you can do that within 10 minutes, and it's up in the public.
Wow, that's cool.
For the public, yeah. Sir?
Yes.
I was wondering, is this going to have any effect on Moodle or?
It shouldn't, because that's part of the migration. Whatever that's functional now, it needs to be functional when it goes live. Yes.
Those are all separate servers and services from the actual person.
Any other questions?
Thank
Okay,
you. On
thank
behalf of
you.
the Chancellor's office and the management team, the President's office, and the work that all of us put together here, I want to thank you for your time, and we'll work together to make it happen for the community.
Thank you very much. Can I get a motion to return to the order of the day? Oh, yes, Mr. Campbell?
Return order of the day.
Well,
A second.
does that mean go back to what we were working on, or does that mean go back to
So
the
now
order of the
we've
day?
gone back to the order of the day, and then we could move to go back to that item.
Okay, so,
Do you want to make a motion?
I mean, should we not move to go back to the order of the day? Shouldn't we move to go back to
So when
that
we go
item?
back to the order of the day,
Okay,
then
all
we'll
right.
move back to that. Do you want to make a motion?
Well, we have to have a second for that one.
There was.
He had a
Okay.
second.
Any discussion or whatever?
No, it's been approved. so-
Okay, so I would like to move that we return to the secretary motion that we were entertaining.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to return to the officer appointments.
Yeah.
Could the candidates please
Return.
return? Yes, Mr. Campbell.
I move to call this to vote.
Thank you. Okay, it's been moved and seconded to call this to a vote. Mr. Stevens?
Wait, village attorney?
Okay. Careful.
You okay, Marcus?
Yeah.
He just saw something on the ground.
Yeah, I'm good. All right.
Okay, so how do we do this vote?
I know. I can't tie shoes with my arm right now.
Yes, Mr.
Do we,
Mr.
does
Stevens.
everybody have to be here?
We're gonna vote.
Okay.
Quorum.
Mr. Stevens, according to the legislative process, you're in charge of the election, so how would you
Oh.
want us to do this?
So did you guys nominated 2 candidates, right? Okay, so the 2 candidates are nominated, so now you go into a vote. We all, for you start with either Nee or Marcus, and we vote accordingly. And then we raise our hands. The votes need to be, written.
So, okay, yeah.
So the
go ahead.
votes, as we raise our hand and we call off our names, it needs to be jotted down, written down, of who voted for who, so that there's an official record. And then if there's a tie, then a second round of voting needs to happen again.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Stevens. So we're gonna do this by raise of hands, and then you say your name and who you're gonna be voting for. And if there's a tie, we would do this differently. So, Mr. Rowland?
All right. I'm going to raise my hand and I'm going to say I'm voting for Nee.
Okay. Mr. Chuck Stevens?
Charles Stevens, I abstain.
Okay. Mr. Calmateus?
Abstain.
Mr. Cody?
Somebody's got to vote.
I'm gonna vote me.
Thanks a lot.
Mr. Cody?
Cody Mowbray, vote me.
Okay. Mr. Ray?
I'm going to vote for me as well.
Mr. Chris Woods?
I believe that you have a spot here. I just don't believe that this is the correct one, and I vote for Nee.
Mr. Campbell?
I also vote for
Miss Marie? And Mr. Malad?
I think you have a spot here also. I'm going to vote for Nee.
And Mr. Andrew?
I'm a bit concerned because I didn't hear the part where they were identified as something.
This is a voting, so are you going to vote for Nee
I
or?
have to vote for a name and I don't know the names.
Oh, Nee is the girl and Marcus is the guy.
Great. In that case, I'll vote for Nee.
Mr. Alverlong?
I agree that you absolutely have a place with us, Marcus, but I'm going to vote for Nee.
Guys, can we just say the vote and no reasons, please?
Sure.
Yeah, like
Thank you. Mr. Harry?
I've dealt with Nee before. I vote Nee.
Okay. And we have 11 for Nee. So, Nee gets it. Thank you, Nee. So you are now the AS secretary.
Start writing stuff down.
You may sit at the table.
Here's a minute.
And thank you, Marcus. And your help is highly appreciated.
And for Marcus?
And can we get a... Of course, for the audience as well, the committees are always open for you to join, and you don't have to sit at the table, but your help is highly appreciated if you could join the committees. I know Chuck Stevens he needs help with the elections, and that's what's coming up pretty soon, so any help would be highly appreciated. So, can I get a motion to return to the order of the day?
Move to return to the order of the day.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to return to the order of the day. Any objections? Okay, motion passes by unanimous consent. Dee Dee is still not here. So item 5.3, Bill SB 14-013, National College Journalism Convention. This is to discuss approving funds not to exceed $4,700 to send the College City Times students to the National College Journalism Convention in March. Carowinds, she's not here.
Yeah. She also hasn't been showing up to class for a couple of weeks. and I think somebody else was supposed to come and talk on this, and I'm not in a position to speak on it, so postpone it.
Is that your motion?
I move that we postpone this.
Second.
Postpone till when? We need to give a time.
Let's postpone it till next meeting. I'll make sure the editor-in-chief's aware that Kara's not showing up, and I'll get them to come and talk on it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, so it's been moved and seconded to postpone item 5.3 till next week. Any objections? Okay, motion passes. On to item 5.7, Project Cinco. Gary Mountain and Larry Harris.
Yeah, I'll defer to Gary if I may.
Okay.
Brief discussion.
You guys have 10 minutes.
Hi, I'm Gary Mountain, and I'm a student. And I believe all of you have received this presentation via email on Project Cinco. Is that correct? Has anybody not received the information?
I haven't checked my email today, so.
Okay. Chuck, this one was actually yours.
Is it? I got the one in email too, though, sir.
What we want to do today is give you a few-minute presentation to identify what's been done, what's now happening, and where it's going. That presentation that was sent to you identified that we, in the last 2 months, created 7 strategic partners. One of those strategic partners was the City of San Jose's Mayor's Office, and the purpose of that strategic partner was to get a grant of $300,000 for actually providing homes for homeless people who are students on campus. That opportunity is now going to be passed. We gave this presentation to administration. Administration has determined that although all of the different disciplines were set up for the people to provide the services, the work needed to be done to be able to do it here on campus was not done according to their standards. Larry is going to be working with the different organizations on campus to get the approval. The problem is that it's going to take several months to be able to have the meetings and be able to make the presentations. If you got that presentation by email, then you know we're missing all of the deadlines and the timeframes that were worked on for the last 2.5 months. And the administration basically told us that they are in favor of wanting to do it, but they have to have all these different shared governance opportunities to approve it. And those steps in the last 2.5 months when we were communicating to administration were never communicated to Larry and I until last week. So consequently, the gain out of this for all of you is I would like to see someone at the officer level actually create a resolution that identifies all of the steps needed to do a project on campus and all the different committees that you have to do a presentation to before you start a project like this, because we got completely blindsided. We had no idea that this was going to be a hurdle, and we came with 7 strategic partners to include Loaves and Fishes, who is willing to come here on campus and provide hot meals every single day, 7 days a week, for our students for free. We had an opportunity with Second Harvest Food Bank that they will come here and actually deliver food to our students as a food drive every week for free. All of these opportunities are now wading through bureaucracy. And Larry has committed to work these through, and he's got several different committees lined up. But basically, we're not going to be able to provide any of these services until sometime after May. And that means that this semester will expend itself, and the project will not be able to start until the following semester, supposedly, if we get your approvals to go forward. So the gain is that the officers need to know that these steps and hurdles get put in front of you. There needs to be some kind of a document created to say, who are these different organizations? What are the hurdles you're going to have to go through? And to put something in writing so that somebody like Larry and I don't go through this process again and then turn around and get told that it's all for naught. I'm terribly upset over the fact that we have to share with you that we have churches that were willing to donate as much as $20,000 apiece. We needed $100,000 of skin in the game to raise $300,000 of city funds to provide homes for students who are now at risk or homeless. We could have housed 200 to 250 students, or 150 to 200 students with those funds. And now we're missing the opportunity because we have to wait a year later to be able to apply for the grant. So that is where that is with administration now. What can we do as Associated Student Body now to move forward? And here is the issue. They need us to identify, we have to promote and publicize that we want to do a at-risk program and a homeless program here on campus. And what we have to do is we have to identify the demographics. We actually have to have students come forward, raise their hand and say they need help. We've got to intake them, which means ask questions on a form, create the form, and deliver that form as our demographics. Now, there are some questions that you need to know to be able to ask correctly. If they are or have ever been a foster child, if they are under 18 years of age, if they are a student who has ever been in what is called an at-risk home of any kind, we need those questions asked on the form because the state of California, Senator Beal's office, has 3 separate funds available to people who fit in those criteria. City Team Ministries and Loaves and Fishes, and Second Harvest Food Bank will both provide us intake forms. We need to know if you will just simply, as an Associated Student Government, accept the forms that they already use, or are we going to change and modify the forms and put San Jose City College's logo on them? These are questions that we have to ask the ASG because these forms, if we accept to use Second Harvest Food Bank's form, automatically is universally accepted by social services, which means when we ask all these questions of our students, if they qualify for Second Harvest Food Bank, their application will automatically go into social services, which will qualify them for an EBT card, which will give them up to $247 in cash and $200 in groceries. It will also qualify them for Medi-Cal insurance for students who are without insurance coverage. And that form automatically gets sent to Social Security. And if they are Social Security disability approvable, we get all of those things done by that one criteria. So, my quest for you today is for you to make a commitment as the Associated Student Government to 1, spread it throughout the classrooms, the teachers, the faculty, the administration, and all of your fellow students that we have this program being developed. We need to have them actually sign up on a form and give us the criteria because we need to get a count and a demographics. And by doing so, we may be able to move this further along as Larry goes from discipline to discipline in the administration's bureaucracy. So that's my presentation to you today, and I'm happy to take any questions you might have allowed by the chair.
Okay, I saw a mixed hand first.
Okay. Yes, Gary. This is an educational institution, and everybody here is taking classes, and this is what you're asking us to do is to take time out of our lives and do this for you. And I think there are some possibly large legal and tax implications with this kind of a program. And I'd like to have a motion where this is, dropped from the agenda or postponed indefinitely.
Well, first of all, Nick, I'd like to assure you, there's no personal benefit.
There's a
to me.
motion on the floor.
Was that a motion?
Yes, yes.
Move to, you move to
I move to have this item dropped permanently from the agenda.
indefinitely? Okay,
I object.
he objects. Your objection?
Well,
Chuck had his hand up first.
He objected, so I just wanted
sorry.
to
Well,
know.
we both objected. You can go first, Chuck.
Mine?
You had a question?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to extend time by 5 minutes, if I may.
Would you need more time, Mr. Gary?
Yeah, we do. We need to start.
Gary, ask for 5 more minutes from the chair, please.
Would you want some more time?
Madam
For this
Chair, we
item?
would like to ask for an additional time.
How
for
much
discussion.
time? How much time?
10 minutes.
Second.
Second.
Okay.
So I just want to address, the legalities of tax and all that. The city of San Jose is behind us, like 100% if we were to do this program. They take care of all that tax stuff between them and the district. So that's kind of like out of our hands. The second thing is that, that I know that you and I have talked to them about partnering up with health services, because what I understand, there are some health risk issues here for the college that needed to be addressed when Dr. Burns addressed. And you and I had talked, and we're going to partner up with health services so that we can address those issues, which is not a big deal. It's just something that I think that every single one of these students should go through health services to make sure that A, they're okay, and B, if they're not okay, how can we help them for the second thing. So I want to put that out there too, that this isn't a decision that we're just going to lightly make. This is a project that's going to it's going to come to fruition over a period of time. So there's some work to do. There's a lot of bugs to work out, but we can get through those bugs. And what I propose is that if we at all possible get a referendum from the students, and we put it on the next election agenda about to see if the students would be willing to support something like this. That's a better way that I would like to fight for this thing, so that we can get the whole college involved and get some debate, because we should help our homeless students.
Thank you. Roland?
I would like, I guess I need to talk about my objections. Or,
Go ahead.
Or can I make a motion, or is this?
Yeah, just talk about
Okay,
the.
so my objection to the motion is that this is all, a majority of this, I mean, he's not even talking about our little thing that we were talking about earlier, like the $5,000. This is all external money, all external stuff coming to us as far as an ASG to be able to be a gateway for our students. So I don't see it as being money leaving our pockets. It's money that we're channeling in this direction. So I don't object to it. I mean, I don't want it to be removed from the agenda. I think this is something very important that we should be doing and that we could be doing. And my opinion would be to get an ad hoc committee, possibly chaired by Mr. Harris, of 4 or 5 of us, to work out all these issues and have that be a little pet project for those of us that are interested.
An ad hoc committee the chair should be
That's why
one of the officers, not the senator.
Okay, well then
Be the senator.
And aren't I executive officer?
Yeah, you
Okay,
could
then
try.
I could chair the ad hoc. Point is, I don't think this should be removed from the agenda. I do believe perhaps we need to have a smaller discussion outside of this meeting to work out a lot of the bugs, but I think this is something worthwhile.
All right,
That's my
thank you.
objection.
Mr. Andrew?
I was up next.
I had my hand up
Ms.
for a long
Andrew.
time.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Andrew.
Yeah, about 10 years ago, when the Mental Health Plan Association first started, we worked on a similar project. We worked for years and years in different formats of this, so this is a very familiar issue. And I don't support this motion, but I do think that the complexity of this process is not a matter of 2 people sitting down. It is a matter of, the first place we decided back then, it was dedicated staff time, And if they're not willing to give dedicated staff time to work through all these things in a way that works for the college, then we're not ready to do it. It is absolutely necessary to have these groups also, but you have to develop, you're creating a new model and you're doing it in the face of a Mental Health Services Act type of situation that basically blocks it, to put all the homeless people and the 10 of them and gave them apartments and left the rest of them in the Guadalupe River. You're up against a very hard problem, so you need really organized city college involvement, like dedicated staff time.
Thank you, Mr. Andrew. Mr. Chris?
Yeah, and to kind of piggyback off that, and is the fact that I'm one of the most seasoned people on this. So I've been here since like Dr. Cavalier was here talking about talking about this situation. And I don't know how many of you guys have actually been homeless, but yeah, right? Okay, so.
I'm not now. But
right, so.
I know what it's like.
Okay, and so did you more appreciate food, or did you I'm not even gonna ask you, that's besides the point. I've been homeless. And so I know that the fact that I'd rather go home than have something in my stomach because I knew I was gonna eat regardless. And so I think at the same time that the demographic that you sent in that email, as I've talked to other people on this campus, not even us. You put people that were way older than us. And going back to the Dr. Cavalier thing, this is not supposed to be a school where you do 6 years at. This is a 2-year community college. So you need to have people who are promising to be leaving. And so the whole point of helping a homeless SJCC student should be the fact that they are promising to go on to a four-year university and be successful. Not somebody who's gonna sit here for 6 years and just keep coming and taking classes here. That's not what we should be doing. And I just feel like that's what you guys keep saying. You guys keep saying, yeah, you wanna help, yeah, you got harvest food out here, yeah, you wanna give them a tote bag, but you're giving them something that's just objects. Something that they still have to put on their back and go home and sit on that corner and still have nowhere to go. I'd rather have a home. So you need to go out there, go to an apartment complex, go somewhere that will there accept a city college-like voucher that we can be housed at. Not keep giving me food, not keep saying you're gonna put me on EBT. I've been on EBT. The President Obama just cut that half of that. So you're not even about to get all of that. So you keep putting these people on social services that have been holding people back because then they become satisfied with it. And that's what can't happen anymore. You gotta know that you gotta come here for 2 years, do what you gotta do, and get out. I'm a perfect example. And that's what I was at, when I told you I was gonna talk to you, that's what I was gonna talk to you about. Because to prove if your system is gonna work, I'm gonna drop everything, and I'm gonna join it.
Okay.
Because like I said, I've been there.
Thank you.
I don't think my time is up yet, right?
Thank you.
But,
Thank you. I think it's getting a little personal.
Because I've seen these people, man. I've been out there. I done slept in the back of cars. I've been on the streets.
Thank
man. All
you.
I keep saying is giving people food and bags.
Thank you, Mr. Chris Rich.
All right. Shit.
Yes.
I haven't had a chance to talk yet. He's talked, they've talked, I haven't.
There are other people before you, actually. Yes, Mr. Gary, you had a comment?
Well, the one thing I want to state is there's nowhere in this presentation that talks anything about the demographics of your age or how long you're here in school.
Exactly, and that's the problem.
To be addressed.
It is not even mentioned, so the conversation about people being here 6 years and all that is a moot point. It has no bearing on what we put out on the
Wait to be
presentation.
addressed. You will be asked to leave if you speak out of turn.
And I'd like to now take my speaking time and turn it over to Larry.
Sorry, before Larry speaks, a few people actually wanted to say a few things. Before you speak, a few people were before you.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, please.
That's fine. My apologies, Mr. Chair.
No, it's fine. So, John, you had something
I
to
just
say?
wanted to say something about, just real quick. You're talking about having food here every night and stuff. Did you even look to see if it would be a conflict with Fresh and Natural? Because that'd be a major conflict. We get a donation from Fresh and Natural, and we have a contract saying, referencing about food, selling food, things of that nature. So
Well, that's the whole point. It's not selling food.
It doesn't matter. So if you're giving everyone free food, they're cut out. you know, we have a contract.
Yeah.
So I would suggest look over the contract first before you do anything like that, and that's it.
Yeah, good. I have a question. If you're inviting a bunch of people here, and I'm not saying that homeless people are, there's anything wrong with homeless people, but I'm saying this night students, would they feel threatened?
Well, may I speak?
Yeah. Yes.
Excuse me, but maybe you're not missing it, or somebody didn't read the presentation. The presentation is all about students with student IDs. They're already with a student ID. They are your next door neighbor in your classrooms. We're not going out and getting the homeless off the street. This is Project Cinco of San Jose City College, and the demographics are the student body. Does that
Okay.
help?
Thank you. Mr. Jeff?
Okay, so something that nobody has addressed yet that Gary brought up that I ran into last summer is that we all talk about transparency here on the council, but there's not transparency when it comes to the school and the regulations and the steps that need to be taken. And I think the first step is what Gary brought up, is that a committee needs to be formed to find out what all the rules and regulations are, because that's not only gonna help this program, this is gonna help all of us for anything that we wanna do going forward. And this is something that I've talked to Blake at length at multiple times. That, you know, because I had a talk with the chancellor over the summer about this. And I said, well, you know, she made excuses, and I was just like, you know, that's an excuse, but it still stands that all these rules and regulations are not in one place, to where not even administration fully knows what the limitations are and what the exact route that needs to be taken to get anything accomplished, not only this.
Well,
Mr. Larry?
Yeah, let me summarize what we've done. You know, we as a group have allocated $5,500. The original bill is asking that we provide vouchers through Fresh and Natural to at least provide 1 meal a day, and hopefully somehow provide shower facilities. Now, that is what we have. What Gary's speaking of, we have that start, and as we go down the path, we roll in the other services. And part of that discussion, Chris, was housing. Now, just when it comes in on the front side or on the back side of the program, I don't know. But all of that is on the table to roll in as this project gets developed. Now, as far as the meeting with Dr. Breland and Dr. Burns and Blake and I, and the 5 of us, you know, the decision was made that we had to take it to the constituency groups. So next week I'll have a bill in front of us, or a resolution. We pass the resolution, then I take that resolution to CPC, strategic planning, or strategic academic center, I'm sorry. And then from there, once they approve the resolution, it'll go to facilities to see if we can't make arrangements somehow to provide showers. So some of the loose ends haven't been taken care of because I've got that process to go through. But as it develops, this committee that Roland will head, these are some of the questions that are going to come up. Do we want 6-year students? You know, there was a proposal to feed. Do we want 5 units or more, 5 units or less? So those are some of the decisions that are going to come to the table as the product develops. But at least we have a starting point for one, Fresh and Natural, a voucher, and hopefully shower facilities. And where it goes from there, you know, let's hope it can be a very rolled out program. But I've got my work to do.
Thank you. That's all the time we have on this item.
I have a motion, right? I have a motion.
I didn't hear it.
Just to remind everyone, the meeting is going to end at 4, and we still have a bunch of stuff we need to go through. We
Call
could
the
still
questions.
talk about this. It's not an action item, it's an info.
I mean, on his motion.
And what was your motion, just to remind you
I
guys?
have a motion, and this is, I just want to remind everybody that we're keeping a watch here during this whole discussion, and
We were
we should be
actually.
keeping a clock.
We were. The time just went off.
Okay. And we're having difficulties filling officer positions on the AS. So I just don't know how we're gonna have people available or hours available of AS.
What's
to
your motion?
form a subcommittee.
What's your motion?
My motion is to drop this off the agenda.
Call the question.
A second? Okay, so,
It's automatically moved to a vote.
okay, so we're gonna move to a vote, and show of hands, if you support this being dropped off the agenda, please, show your hands.
What's the vote for? I don't get it. What is
To
it?
get this off the agenda, but you don't get to vote. So please raise your hand if you want these to be dropped
Nay.
off the agenda.
Nay. We have to do
Okay.
roll call. Nay.
Nay.
Roland.
Abstain.
Yeah.
I'm not quite understanding. Is this
So-
complete or postponed?
Completely, drop it off. So if you say nay, you don't want it to be dropped off the agenda. If you say yay, you want it to be dropped off the agenda.
Nay.
Chris Woods?
I have to abstain.
Mr. Jeff Campbell?
Nay.
Ms. Murray?
Abstain.
Yay.
Nay. Nay.
Nay.
Nay.
Okay.
6, no, 3, yes, 4 abstain.
Okay, so motion fails by 6 votes. Yes.
Can I make a motion to ask the chair to form a ad hoc committee with me as the chair
Okay, so
to work with,
is that your motion?
that's my motion.
Okay.
I don't think that has to be voted. I think the chair can just appoint an ad hoc committee, can't
Yeah.
they?
Okay, so we're gonna form,
Do you have an
and
objection? though?
the motion wasn't even made. So we're gonna form an ad hoc committee and just move this to an ad hoc committee chaired by Mr. Roland Bell and
Volunteers?
Email me,
volunteers
yeah.
to be on the committee.
We'll meet afterwards, just after the meeting if you
But
want.
if you would like to be on the ad hoc committee, could you please identify by show of hands?
So,
Ad hoc committee members, potentially? Okay.
could be students too, so,
Oh, you have.
Public people can do it.
Okay.
there you
That'll
go.
work. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, so I have Mr. Chuck Stevens, Cody, Alva, Larry, Marcus, and Gary.
Point of information.
Yes, Mr. Johnson.
So will this ad hoc committee get down to the root
I will.
of what Gary said? That of the
Yeah.
hurdles
That'll
that
be
need to
point number
overcome?
one, will be to set up a map.
Yeah, you guys could talk about
Yeah,
this afterwards, but the whole point of this is to just get down to it and let's know if we really want to approve this or not. And then after the ad hoc committee comes to a decision, they'll come back to us and let us know what decision they've made. Even if you're opposing this motion, you should join the committee so your voice could be heard as well.
There's a motion on the floor and I'm objecting to the motion. Do I?
Well, it's not.
There was no
a
motion, I just created the committee.
The chair has the purview.
Wait to be addressed.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Andrew?
Yeah, I think I should also ask to be on that committee.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. On to the next item. Yes.
Permission not to return.
Okay, thank you. Let the, oh,
Okay, well.
let the minute
We're
reflect.
soon- we're gonna go- just remove this
We have quorum. Yes, Mr. Campbell?
I'd like to suspend the rules for the rest of the meeting and limit all items, remaining items, to no more than 5 minutes.
Second.
Total.
It's been moved and seconded to limit the rest items on the agenda to no less than 5 minutes.
No more.
No more than 5 minutes.
Due to time constraints.
Second.
Okay. Okay, and I noticed Dee Dee just walked in, and we made a motion to postpone until she gets here. So can I get a motion to suspend the order of the day and go back to that item?
Well, don't have to approve this motion first to make everything 5 minutes?
5 minutes? We did.
Okay, we did?
Yeah.
Okay, good, sorry. I missed that.
Objection?
To return, move the order of the day and go to Dee Dee's item?
Yes, because at the beginning of the meeting today, you said that these presentations have to be postponed to a certain time period. And I think we're beyond that time period.
Okay, so we're gonna do a vote, and if you, what was your motion?
It's an objection.
An objection? Okay, so if you want this item to be moved to next meeting, please say yay. If you don't, then nay.
Yay.
Nay.
Abstain.
To move it to next meeting?
Move, yeah.
We're here today. Is that
Item 5.1 and 5.2. For the record, this item has been moved like 3 times already.
Oh. Nay.
Okay?
Nay.
Mr. Jeffcoat?
Confused.
It's abstain, nay, or yay.
Okay, so what am I voting for?
Yay is next week. Nay is
Okay,
today.
yay next week.
Nay. Nay.
Nay.
Nay.
Okay, motion passes. 6 votes.
So what's
Miss.
the outcome?
So the item is not going to be postponed to next week. We're going to hear it today. Miss Didi Coast, we're ready for you.
Thank you. It seems like I walked into a hornet's nest.
Council,
Hello, welcome all of you. My name is Eva Fox. Back to the AS.
So all the items have been limited to 5 minutes.
Yes. Again, I missed work last week to be here. I'm missing work this afternoon. I've been trying to accommodate the best that I can as well. I'm going to keep this very brief. I'm president of Phi Theta Kappa. I will be coming back before you after I meet with Blake again in the future to set up the details for our ceremony for Phi Theta Kappa, which is the honors program for spring. As I told Blake, I will continue all the way through fall because we continue to put this back together, which is our honors program here. I can run all that by you probably next week if we put that back on the agenda as to what this all entails. The other issue I'm here for is also for Covered California. For some of you who don't know what that is the Affordable Care Act. The deadline is March 31st. You've heard it called Obamacare. And here as a campus, I'm disappointed. I'm an educator for Covered California, but we have done a very poor job of letting our students know that they have to have health insurance by March 31st. And I'm going to ask today that somehow between now and next week, if we can work with the webmaster or with Faraday at the newspaper, somehow we get this information out to our students that they have to have health insurance by March 31st or Medi-Cal because they're going to have the penalties assessed on their taxes starting this year. The law passed in 2010. It's been in place for 4 years. It's going forward. I have told lots of folks, the Health and Services Office has told people left and right. We've been answering questions left and right, trying to get the word out, but we have thousands of students here without insurance, and they're going to be penalized. So I'm going to take both of those items forward here as we go. Yes?
I have a question on that.
1 second. Are you done with everything you want to say?
Pretty much. I can tell what's going on here, so I'm just going to wrap it up in like 3 minutes.
Okay. Questions? Yes, Mr. Roman.
I believe we covered it in the fall and a big deal about it. If you wanted more, health services or somebody else would need to take out ad space for the Times. We can't put it in every issue as an article. So if we need to do more awareness than what we did last fall, we would need to talk about that with Faraday probably.
Well, the deadline's March 31st.
We have one more issue before then. We're taking ads. Production is Thursday, next Thursday.
So we have time before next Thursday to put it in the paper. If they just
Hold on. Mr. Larry Harris?
Yeah, I had thought as a student we pay a health fee. Is that not considered insurance coverage?
No, it's not. I do presentations on this all the time.
Can you speak up?
You pay a health services fee. What that gives you is access to the health services office for flu shots, TB, for TB exams for work, pills if you're sick, referrals to eye doctors, things like that. That's strictly part of the health services process here. That is not having insurance. For the veterans who, like Mick and I've spoken about this in the past, for veterans, if they do not have their TRICARE, or if they have not have their VA card, they are not covered as well. If they have not done a status check, like with their benefits administrator and things. Work comp cases are not having health care. I get told that all the time. I have a work comp medical doctor, so therefore I'm covered by insurance. That's not the case. You have to have either health insurance through work, through a private student account like they sell over at the health services office, or through Medi-Cal. Medi-Cal became income-based as of January 1st, which is a major change. Medi-Cal is now income-based. Our students depending on how much they're making, are income-based, and they are eligible for Medi-Cal for the first time since Medi-Cal came around, because of the Affordable Care Act, and they don't know it. So that is health insurance. Okay, you actually have to have a health insurance policy in place. Covered California does issue a case number, so does Medi-Cal. As long as you have that in place, and if it's a paid plan, you make that first payment before the 31st, you're not penalized for your taxes.
Okay, hold on. Mr. John Camte?
I just want to say we could easily just put up poster boards
Yeah,
on
okay.
sandwich boards with all the information, put them all around campus, make sure students know. Boom, easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna ask, since you're an educator in this field, could you maybe send me 5 bullet points, like super short, like if we were to put on our poster, you know,
Absolutely.
deadline, March 31st, blah, 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 you know, $5 student fee doesn't cover it, you know, kinda, you know what I
Right,
mean?
and that's a good question too about the health services fee. That is not uncommon. I just had a
Right.
gentleman, and this is a gentleman, and Nick, you probably know him too. He has another campus, they have 90 vets there. He was told by somebody at the administration on that campus that all their vets are covered because they're students. He came to me and said, excuse me, I have 90 vets at my campus. You mean to tell me if they don't have their TRICARE or a VA card, they're not covered? It's kind of an issue right now.
Mr. Cody?
So, I've heard on campus that there's a FanPAD program going around that's provided, I think, by the school or for the school. I've heard a little bit about that. Does that cover the whole healthcare requirements? Was that like, you know anything about that?
What is it called?
I think it's called FanPAC. Is anyone else aware of this program that's on campus?
If
Or
it's
provided
not
to
health
campus?
insurance, if it's not a Kaiser card, Blue Cross, recognized health plan that includes all the 10 minimal essentials that are required under federal law, it is not health insurance.
Okay.
And this, again, even though it's called Covered California, it's a federal law. It doesn't matter. You can transfer to Texas tomorrow. Texas has to enroll it. They're doing it a different way, but it's state by state.
Okay. That's enough time on that's all the time on this item.
Anyone?
And
With me afterwards.
Yeah.
yeah, you guys could talk afterwards. I had a question though for the Phi Theta Kappa. Would you like this to come back on the agenda for next week?
Yes.
As a bill, would you have like things you need to buy, or that's it?
Yes. And Phi Theta Kappa traditionally at this campus has been supported by the former type of student government as the AS. It should be this way. It is a benefit to our students. We only have a limited amount of students who actually make that 3.5 continuously, you know, or actually qualify through that program. And it behooves us to continue this chapter. While I was in Mississippi, our chapter was almost taken away from this campus. A lot of people don't realize that. I've driven back and forth to Mississippi to try to keep this going for our students, because that's what it's about. It's a personal recognition. And one of these days, and maybe next week, you can ask Alan. He said he would also like to speak on this issue because he's now a member.
Okay, thank you. So that's all for that item. Can I have a motion to go back to the order of the
I
day?
move that we return to the order of the day.
A second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to return to the order of the day.
What item?
Any
is that?
objections? Item 5.8.
5.8.
We did 4.9.
Okay, motion passes. So this is item 5.8, resolution for adding the word social justice to the CPC charge. Harris.
Chuck wrote the resolution. Where'd he go?
Great question.
Mr. Andrew?
I haven't read it.
Yeah, I'm very upset with this framework because I'm very strongly advocate for social justice being, but it's supposed to be for the city college mission statement. That was where the real issue was. And CPC charge is not, is a sellout of the original concern that was raised for this advocacy.
Can I get
Um,
some clarification?
Mr. Jonathan first.
I move to suspend this until Chuck gets back, until someone could actually
Postpone
give a
till he
presentation.
comes back. Mr. Campbell?
Mr. Harris's name is on this.
Yeah, he's one of
As
the.
far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned, he should be the one
It's-
speaking.
Yeah.
All right.
So I still move to suspend this 5.8
I'll second that.
until there's more information. on it.
What would Mr. Harris like to do? please?
I forget.
Let me give you some
He
background.
moved.
First off,
And it was second.
I got a side conversation with
I seconded his motion.
disciplinary.
Yeah.
Oh, his motion was actually seconded.
seconded
I
it.
didn't hear you.
Seconded.
I did.
His motion was seconded.
And
And Chuck is back, so
I didn't do it.
we
There's
can
line.
move on.
The resolution, Chuck, for social justice.
So, the resolution,
I retract my motion.
It passed. It passed.
so I dropped it out. I've had a very busy last couple of weeks. Yeah, I'm sorry. I can only do so much, and like my time, it's just stretched. So I'll have it for you as soon as I humanly possibly can.
I'll write it. You help me out, I'll write it, okay?
All right.
Can I get a motion then to postpone this?
Postpone a week?
Yeah.
I move to postpone this item to next week's meeting.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to postpone item 5.8 till next meeting. Any objections? Okay, motion passes.
Madam Chair-
Objection?
No point of information, just a point of
Okay,
information.
motion passes.
So we have it in our minutes that we agreed to put this language back into the charge,
Mission statement.
the mission statement.
Wait to be addressed.
And like, I'm just like, I mean, I like to do a resolution anyway, but I don't think it's very fair for CPC to be telling us, oh, you need a resolution now, even though like we agreed democratically as a council to put that back in there.
Question?
Yes.
You know, let's clarify this. CPC had asked us to do the resolution. I am probably the lead guy on CPC. There's 5 of us. I guess I'm senior, except for perhaps Mr. Phelps. It's easier to work with CPC and do the resolution and everybody be friendly about it than to take something that we want to force down their throats. Let's just do it like they asked us. Let's remain friends. Let's get it done. I'll write it if you help me. Thank you.
Mr. Andrew?
Objection?
Yes.
Didn't this just get moved? So why are we discussing
Yeah,
it?
you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Back and
he
forth.
said he was gonna. Okay, so this has been postponed. So you guys can talk about
Yes,
that after
yes.
the meeting.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
The next item is 5.9, Bill SP 14-015, Latina Leadership Conference. This is to approve funds not to exceed $3,400 to attend the Latina Leadership Conference.
Okay, I would just like to say that San
Speak
Jose,
up, please.
in San Jose State College, there's never been a Latina Leadership Network Club. This is the first time it's happening here. It happened last year and will continue this year. And in Evergreen Valley College, they do have a club and they've been attending the meeting, but it will be a really good experience for the students here to attend the 27th annual conference. It will be the first time that City College will be able to go over there and represent the college, and it will be a good experience for students to learn how to be leaderships in the community, and it would just be a good experience for students to network and to put our college out there, and to know that we also have a club here and that we're open to anybody. It says Latina, but it's open to anybody, and we really hope that we get the funds for students to attend.
Mr. Mick?
Let's see, great idea, and what would you be doing for outreach?
Well, it's the first time doing a club here, so we're still working on it. But we would like to put our college out there, saying that we have a club here, and we like to do fundraising and like help the community out, not just in school, but if there's like people that need help outside of school, to help them and to let them know that we come here.
After others finish speaking, you can speak again. Mr. Camateos?
I just want to mention too, Dr. Cepeda also wrote a letter that you guys all have. It's on the back of the budget. Basically, on behalf of the Latino leadership, like you could read it on your own, or yeah, but basically, it's in support of this by Dr. Cepeda.
Okay. And Mr. Campbell?
No, I just got answered. I didn't realize that the budget was on the back of this. So I was going to ask to see a budget.
Mr. Rowland?
Well, I was going to ask to see a budget too. Where is the budget? And I have a question.
Objection.
Guys, no side chatter.
Sorry.
Mr. Rowland?
So I was curious, what is the function going to be of the people that we send to this? Are they going to be presenting? Are they going to be receiving recognition for the school? Like what is the function of the conference for our members that we're sending?
It's just for the members to have an opportunity to network and to get to know other people in the community so they can teach us how to be better leaders in the community and help our community.
Mr. Andrew?
My understanding is it's a loaning Newark.
Yes.
They serve Pete's Coffee, you should go there.
Thank you, Mr. Ray.
Where is it? Where, is it here?
It's in Ohlone College.
23 minutes.
Oh, Ohlone?
No, back and forth, guys.
Mr. Harris?
Yeah, several years ago, this network came to the Board of Trustees meeting. They received some awards. I had a chance to interview them for the City College Times, and I think they was a group of fine young women. So it's a great organization. I've seen their product, and I encourage us to approve this.
Mr. Chuck Stevens?
Yes, so I also like to add that, this is gonna provide a vast amount of resources for our Latina, for our Latin women that attend this college and across our entire region. So I just want you guys to know that this isn't something that just our college is participating, like our whole region's participating in this. Especially you have a lot of single parents, single moms with like 2 or 3 children that are trying to come back to school. And this conference is going to provide a vast amount of resources for them to get some more tools about completing the California Community College system. So,
thank you. Mr. Mick?
Could possibly this person be made available of any banners or SJCC business cards or something to take and distribute while they're?
Yeah, we're working on having enough.
No back and forth, please.
Okay.
Mr. Calmaquez?
I just want to let everyone know too, the LLN, they have a lot of functions for the students here, Zumba and things of that nature. So they're active on campus. So I just want to let everyone know that. And because of time restraint, I would like to move to make this an action item.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to make this an action item, and we would do a roll call vote because it contains money.
2/3 too.
2/3 vote.
On the action item question, yay.
Yes.
Yay.
Changing this to an action item, that's what the vote is for. Mr. Calmaquez?
Yay.
Yay.
Abstain.
Yay.
Yay.
Indeed.
Yay. Yay.
Yay.
Okay, motion passes. 12 yeas and 1 nay.
Abstain.
Move to approve
abstain.
item, help me out, Don. 5.8. 5.8? Move to approve
5.9.
5.9, Latino Leadership Conference for the amount not to exceed $3,400.
It's been moved and seconded to approve item 5.9, Bill SP 14-015, Latino Leadership Conference, not to exceed $3,400. Any objections?
Yeah.
Any objections? Okay, roll call vote.
Yay.
Yay.
Double yay.
Yay. Yay.
To approve the funds.
This is the money.
To approve $3,400?
Yes.
Well, I wanted to ask a question. You didn't give me the opportunity. What is that money going for?
Registration. For 12 students.
You see the budget?
It's on the
12
budget.
students?
It's all on the budget.
In detail? Oh, I saw that.
Mr. Chris Rude, we're voting. We're voting.
What's it for?
Abstain.
Food?
Mr. Campbell? No side chatter, please.
Yes. Yay. Double yay. Yay.
Yay.
Okay, motion passes. 13 votes. Okay, on to the next item, which was pulled out of the consent calendar. 6.1, Bill SP 14-013, book voucher.
I have a point of information on this.
Yes.
Should it still be an action item? Because this should be info now, right?
Mm-hmm.
5.11. No.
So it was pulled out, so discussion?
Yes. So I'd like to know, since we didn't do a book program, why is it that we're gonna single out one student to provide them $200 when the council made the decision not to do the book voucher program this semester? And I know the library has at least one copy of every book in the shelves, and the business services does a book loan.
Mr. Chuck?
So, you said the business services does a book loan?
Business services does.
No back and forth, guys.
Back and forth, please.
I would have just pointed him right to there in the first place. No, I talked about it with Alex, and this was a special accounting managerial book that this one guy needed. And since only one or two students in the class had come up to us about the book voucher, I figured helping one student was better than helping no student. So now that I know some other information about the book loan from the business office, I just moved to postpone the item indefinitely.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to postpone this item indefinitely. On to the next item on the consent calendar. Mr. Stevens, the SJCC Fun Run, Bill SB 1.
Fun run. Okay, so this is.
I move to approve.
Was it?
No.
So it's a consent item, so it's below $500. So move to approve the consent calendar.
Second. Oh.
Yes,
Point
Mr.
of
Campbell?
information, I'd like
Yeah.
to know what this is, because I thought the consent calendar was to reimburse like gas mileage and items like that, and not full on, whatever this may be.
Okay.
I moved to pull 6.2 from the consent calendar.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to pull 6.2 from the consent calendar. Any objections?
Oh, no.
Motion passes by unanimous consent. Yes, Mr. Stevens?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So what the fun run is, this is an idea from Ashley King that came out a couple weeks ago. What it is that we're partnering up with health services to do for some like Gatorade, some light refreshments, and to kind of try to organize the students on what's called the fun run or walk. And what it is it's to engage the students in doing some physical activity of some kind. It's meant to, whether they're walking around the track, get a layout, maybe walk around the block, just something to engage the students so that we're not just apathetic and just sitting in our books, because statistics have shown that school is very stressful, and so when you're sitting there and your head's in a book and you're going from one class to the next, and it's a healthy walk or a healthy run or however you want to choose to look at it with your other colleagues, your other peers, is a good way to get the blood flowing. It's a good way to sustain a healthy environment, and so that's what this idea was about. And the $200 is just to basically go for water, Gatorade, things of that nature. And I think there may be some of it I'm not sure, but I think some of it may be going for an insurance fee because it is kind of like we will be walking off campus and stuff. So I think it's like $100.
Do we have a bill for this?
We do not, but I can make one and bring it back next week.
Okay. So do the students actually have to pay for this?
No, absolutely not. No, this is free. This is just something to engage the campus and going and.
Okay, so can I get a motion to postpone this to next week and get
I move to
a
postpone
bill?
this to next week's calendar.
Okay.
Or
Second.
Next week's action.
Meeting? Second?
Yeah, I don't even know why it went on consent. It wasn't supposed to go on consent.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to postpone item 6.1 to next week. Any objections? Motion passes. On to 7.0, 7.1, officer resignation, none at this time. 7.3, committee openings. We have the Student Success Committee. We need 2 students, Tuesday, Thursdays at 2 p.m. Any volunteers? All right, Mr. Stevens?
Yes, I'd like to be appointed to the Academic Senate, and we need one other student to sit on the Academic Senate as well for an advisory vote.
Ma'am, I'd like to join that committee as well. I have in my hand here the resolution that the Academic Senate passed allowing 2 non-voting students to set on it?
Okay, so I have Mr. Stevens and Mr. Harris. On to 7.4. Mr. Rowland, did you have something?
I have one more item under committee openings that
Okay.
was overlooked. We were told this morning at CPC, I believe, facility, or no, actually, never mind. It's the safety committee and they're joining them, so.
7.4, club chartering, club seat funding. None at this time. Club disciplinary actions. None at this time. Student trustee report, none at this time. Advisory report. None at this time. Club reports. Media club, we'll go starting from media club and go down.
Nothing for the media club.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Campbell.
We have a hot link fundraiser 18th and 19th in the grass.
Thank you. Nothing to report.
Mick Taylor Veterans, let's see. We have our grand opening next Wednesday, 12 March, 2 p.m. in SC.
No side chatter, please. Keep going.
And let's see. Other than that, I just want to say something since it's my time to talk, or the veterans' time to talk. I think I'd like to suggest that we have some report from the treasurer before we vote on money, because we're spending money without really knowing what's in the budget.
All bills actually go through him before they come on the agenda.
Okay.
So he knows before they actually come on the agenda.
But that still.
Can we talk after? Because
Yeah.
we're really on time constraint.
Sure.
Mr. Andrew Phelps?
Well, the Mental Health Plan Association met this week, and we had a very lively meeting, and our advisor, large discussion of the homeless issue, because our advisor is very involved in that question, and also about this strange attack on campus where we had this anti-abortion group cause social disruption. So we have ongoing issues of passion about the campus, which we need to follow up and continue with.
Thank you. Mr. Harris?
I'm good.
Okay.
No report, ma'am, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I apologize.
let's go. Officer report?
Yes. So in the interest of time, may I make mine first?
Okay,
Because
yes,
it
go
deals
ahead.
with the elections.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
good. So, first of all, next Region 4 meeting, to be determined. I have the date written down, I just don't have it. So we lost a senator. We lost Christopher Marshall. He's no longer as Region 4 senator.
No
So
side chatter.
We'll be looking to replace him, probably most likely with our Region 4 chair, maybe Alex. We don't know yet, but if you guys want to come and we talked to me after the meeting for the Region 4 stuff. But the elections are being postponed exactly 1 week. So the reason being is because we put out information about the elections, and that information is now missing from the campus. So students had come up to me and said, hey, listen, we haven't seen any kind of publicity out there for the election. So everything's going to be postponed 1 week. Roland and I have a plan about how we're going to attack the publicity issue. And I'm also going to be in Jeff Campbell's here too to try to get him to help with us too.
Okay.
Real quick, I just want to get my report, 1 minute. You guys also, before you guys can look over, this is what we've been approving, what's been spent, what's left over on those accounts. If you have any questions, come to me after. And also, I'm transferring the book voucher money, which is some few $1,000s to our activities account. So I mean, we're good. And things like the LLN, they did come to me first. We looked at it. We made sure we had the budget. So I suggest, like I said, if anyone comes here to try to approve something without coming to me, I'm going to say no automatically.
Okay, we are out of time for the meeting.
I move to adjourn. Second.
Okay, move to adjourn at 4:01.
Hey guys, totally unofficial, but I want to tell you we have a sign-in sheet now. I'm doing it because I want to make sure that when we have a meeting, we have quorum. So make sure you just sign in, and I just want to make sure